So my past life regressions almost always end up being stories. And some of these stories are often just like little parables. They're wonderful. I don't know if this is because I'm such a narrative person. Like, if I start a book, I have to finish it because I need to know what happens. If I start watching some stupid Netflix show, I have to watch to the end because I just need to see the narrative arc. And this often happens in these regressions. So I'm going to tell you a woman who came to see me, and she had two really interesting um, lifetimes that happened, and the two stories went together really well. So in the first one, it was really many, I don't know how long ago, but it was prehistoric times really, and she was a little boy living in a little village. It was during the Ice Age, I think, or else it was just a very long winter. Anyway, this little boy thought that he would surprise his family by finding some wood, which made no sense at all because he was only like 3 years old and it was the middle of winter. But he thought that he would be able to find this cave that they would go to and store wood. So he set off on his own out into this blizzard, and he was wearing furs, and he was very determined. You know, when you're telling the story of a past life, you really feel the person's body. You can feel what they're thinking. You can't really know more than that. You have some perspective from now, but so she was in this little 3-year-old boy's body, and he was sort of falsely brave, thinking he was going to be this hero. So he set off, and he got tired, and he sat down. And unfortunately, he died of the cold. And he was very frightened as he began to realize he didn't know where the cave was. So he just sat down out of frustration. And he was really only a few feet from the cave, but he couldn't see it because of the blizzard and because he was so disoriented from being frightened. And so we saw that lifetime. And then the next lifetime they took her to, she was a Native American young man, probably in his late teens, and he was riding wildly on a horse across the plains, bareback, like full regalia, all the wonderful beads and long hair, and he had a bow and arrow, and he was hunting. And he was practically falling off the horse as he went, but he had so much confidence and such certain knowledge that he was going to shoot. I can't remember what it was he was shooting. I guess it could have been a buffalo, maybe. Anyway, he was so confident, and as he rode along, he shot his arrow going at top speed. He hit the mark, and he brought the animal down, and he was laughing and sort of, just so full of confidence. And so at the end of these two lifetimes, now this woman who had come to see me was at a crossroads in her life trying to decide what to do next with herself. And we spoke with her spirit guide or higher self. And what they told us was about the little boy, the first thing that goes when you're afraid is intuition. And the little boy really actually did know exactly where that cave was, but he was so afraid that his ability to sort of reach into himself for his intuitive knowledge was cut off. And then they said, but then when you look at the other lifetime you had, you were so full of confidence, and that led you to victory. So I always think of that phrase, the first thing to go when you're in fear is intuition. So they were really guiding her to move forward without fear as she moved into the next part of her life. So that's today's story. Hope you all are well, and we'll catch up again soon.